In today's video, we're going to be looking at some place value things, and we're going to start up here with the place value chart. And we're going to talk about moving to the left on a place value chart and to the right on a place value chart. So if we look here in the ones place and we go to the tens place, 10 is 10 times bigger than 1. If we start at tens and we look at hundreds, 100 is 10 times bigger than 10. So as we go to the left on the place value chart, for each place to the left, it's times 10. Okay, for each place to the left, it's times 10, or 10 times bigger. Now, the opposite of that, oops, that's not what I wanted to do. The opposite of that, so if we're moving to the right, so if we look at the hundreds place, so 100 and the 10, 100 divided by 10 is 10. 10 divided by 10 is 1. So as we move to the right on a place value chart, it's like we're dividing by 10. Or on your home link, you're gonna see 1/10 of. Okay, 1/10 of. So finding 1/10 of a number is the same thing as dividing by 10. So let's start with our first, let's start with our sample here. So let's have a 6-digit number. One thing I like to do when they tell me that is I like to put lines down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I've got my 6 lines for my 6 places, my 6 digits. And the first statement is one of my 2's is worth 20,000. So think to yourself, where would you put a 2 to be worth 20,000? Well, here's the 10,000s place. 2 times 10,000 is 20,000. So one of my 2's is going to go here. Then the next statement is the other 2 is worth 10 times as much. The other 2 is worth 10 times as much. Well, if you remember from how the video started, when we go to the left on a place value chart, it's the same as multiplying by 10. So 10 times as much, 10 times as much as 20,000 is going to be 200,000. So we're going to put our 2 in the 100,000s place. Then moving on from there, the next statement is my 7 is worth 7,000. Well, the thousands place is right here. So that's going to be 7,000. One of my 4's is worth 40. 4 tens is 40, so my 4 is going to go in this location. The next statement is the other 4 is worth 1/10 as much. Remember back to the beginning, when we're moving to the right on a place value chart, I'm going to put it in this time. When we're moving to the right on a place value chart, it's the same thing as dividing by 10, or if you remember, 1/10 of. So if the statement is the other 4 is worth 1/10 as much, or 1/10 of, that means it's going to go to the right. So 40 divided by 10 is going to be 4. The last statement is the last digit is a 0. And then the question is, what number am I? Well, if we look at our numbers here, our final number is 227,044. 227,044. Quick reminder, this is important, and we're going to talk about this a lot throughout the year. As we're going to the left on a place value chart, the place is 10 times bigger than the place to the right. So moving to the left, it's 10 times bigger. Moving to the right, it's 1/10 of, or dividing by 10. Okay, now we are going to look at the practice section, and there's some more order of operations in this one, and we're going to start with this problem, and this is going to be our first problem where we have some braces, at least ones that I've done an example for that I can remember. So our problem is 30 divided by 5. This symbol can also mean division. Okay, 30 divided by 5. That's going to be in parentheses, plus 4 times 8. That's also going to be in parentheses. Then we're going to have another brace. Let me see if I can do a better one. Another brace, and that's going to, from that, we're going to subtract 5. And we're going to try to find out what that equals. When we're working through these, remember the first thing that we do is we're looking at the braces, the brackets, or the parentheses. So we have to start with what's in the braces first. And in the braces, there are 2 sets of parentheses. So we're going to do the parentheses next. 30 divided by 5 is 6. So I'm done with that set of parentheses. 4 times 8 is 32. So I'm done with that set of parentheses. Now, I'm going to bring down the rest of the problem. So I've got my braces, my plus sign, another brace, then subtract 5. From here, I have to do what's inside the braces first, and that is going to be 6 plus 32, and 6 plus 32 is 38. So now I'm done with that. I'm going to bring down my subtract. I always like to keep it in order. So I'm going to bring down my subtract 5. And 38 subtract 5 is 33. Done with that. So my answer to the original problem is 33. Have a good rest of your day, and we'll see you in the next video.